Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and this is week 19 of my doing 100 weeks of YouTube videos and focusing on creating a healthier and happier lifestyle for myself. So, yay for week 19. I think I actually did pretty good for week 19. I've been writing in my journal every day this week. A couple of days I actually wrote at night instead of like the next day, but I still wrote in my journal every day this week. So, yay, kind of helping with my emotional, spiritual stability. I think I read my scriptures and meditationals most days, but I think I may have missed a couple in there. in there. I went to work every single day this week, so was able to pay all of my bills for the month of November. Yay! That makes me very happy. So, so what is that? Emotional, spiritual, social, financial, anyways, in there. But so I have been trying to eat healthier physically. I haven't got myself to exercise yet, but I need to get back to exercising. That would be fantastic. But I did go grocery shopping on Tuesday, and I went the Tuesday before, and I have managed to pack or have stuff to take with me to work without having to buy stuff at the gas station. So I'm very proud of myself for that. So the only thing I've been buying at the gas station is gas. Although there was one day I was fighting a migraine. I've been fighting a migraine off and on all week, which is kind of annoying. It's never got like really bad, which I'm really grateful for, but it's just been lack of sleep, a lot of stress, and crazy weather. So, but I worked in spite of all of that. But there was one day when it was just really bad, and I was like, I gotta buy a Coke. I gotta have the caffeine to help me out. So I did buy a Coke at the gas station. I only drank about half of it, but anyway. So there's that. And then I bought some honey from my neighbor that does. They have a local beehive, and they sell local honey. So I'm like, I will support local businesses, but it's way more expensive than the grocery store. So I don't know how much I'll do that. Although it did make my cranberry sauce really, really yummy. So for Thanksgiving dinner, excuse me, I got a little too excited there. Sorry. Thanksgiving dinner, I went and picked up my sponsor, and she came over. So she helped do dishes while I was cleaning. And I think the only thing, she helped me roll some of the dinner rolls, and then she helped with the cranberry sauce. And I think the rest of the cooking I did. I did the brown paper bag for my turkey, and just put it in a brown paper bag and stuck it in the oven. It was awesome. And then I made potatoes and sweet potatoes and yams, and I made dinner rolls and gravy and cranberry sauce. So that's what we did for Thanksgiving. And the cranberry sauce, I've never done it from scratch before, so kind of follow the recipe on the back, but you're supposed to chill it for 3 hours, and it was like the last thing we made, so it didn't exactly have 3 hours to be chilled. And my sponsor took the time to get the honey out. Apparently it was really hard, so she had to stick it in the microwave to soften it up so she could pour it in. And then I just used a spatula to scrape the rest of it in there. But in order to thicken it up, I tried using some cornstarch, and I needed to press it up against the sides a little bit. But my landlord came over around that time, and then he started telling me, oh, you just put flour in there. You just put flour in there. It's like, oh, it's always going to be clumpy. You have to like put it in when it's cold, so then you can heat it up. And I'm like, it's already hot. I can't exactly put it in here when it's cold, and it's going to clump the flour just like it clumps the cornstarch. But he kept saying, put flour in, and when I'm stressed out and when I'm having situations like that, sometimes I either freak out and just start yelling at people, or I just do whatever they're telling me to do just to make them stop. And I didn't really want to put flour in it because I am attempting to do the whole gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free thing. So my dinner rolls I made with oat flour. I had to put like 1 or 2 cups of regular flour in it, but the rest of it was oat flour as an experiment. It turned out pretty good. I used honey and agave syrup in place of the sugar, so there's no sugar in it. And of course I used almond milk, so there's no dairy in it. So I was like, yes, yummy. And they were very yummy. They're not as sweet as I remember them being, and I think that's because there was no sugar in them. So next time I make them, I might use all honey in place of the sugar instead of the agave syrup, but I thought I would try it anyway. And then they didn't raise enough the second time, which kind of stuck them in the oven, so they were a little bit heavier. They weren't as light because I didn't let them kind of run out of time. So I'm like, I just barely rolled them up before my landlord came over, and then we're taking the turkey out, and it's like, all right, I guess in order for us to eat, I got to stick the rolls in, but they probably need like another hour to raise in order for them to be light and fluffy in the middle, so they were kind of thick and heavy, but they still tasted yummy. So I'm like, hey, if they tasted that good, and they were, all the stuff I didn't do right with them, I'm pretty sure I can do them again and they'll be even better. So that was my experiment with those. And the cranberry sauce I've never done from scratch before, but we did the cranberry sauce and the honey that we got from my neighbors. And my sponsor friend, she just ended up heating it up in the microwave because I guess it was really solid honey. I don't know why it was so hard, but she heated it up so it would run in there, and then I just kind of scooped the rest of it in there, and then we watched it kind of boil and watched the cranberries pop and all that stuff. It was kind of fun. And then, of course, they're trying to put cornstarch in and mash it up against the sides to prevent it from, to thicken it. And instead, my landlord was like, put flour in it. And then, of course, I put some flour in it just to get him to stop telling me to do that. And if my sponsor was like, oh, it's okay, when Midge is in the kitchen, I just move out of the way and just let her do her thing. And I'm like, thank you. I wish he would take that cue and do the same thing. But it's okay. And then when it came to the gravy for the turkey, he helped get the turkey out of the pan because I didn't have the utensils for that. So he went and got utensils and helped do that. And then he didn't wait to get it like over the sink or for me to get it over to the counter so we could pour the turkey juice in slowly, the turkey drippings. I got a strainer and a pan and I was headed over there and he just, right in the middle of my kitchen, it just starts pouring it. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then he just kept pouring and he poured more than what fits in my pan. And so it was like on my floor and hitting my legs and it was hot too. And I was like, yeah, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I should stop, huh? And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, stay out of my kitchen. But I appreciated the help. I appreciated that he moved the turkey and that he was trying to help so that we could have Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm not really complaining. I was just like, it's like a little kid. It's like teaching. I know he's way older, but sometimes I feel like he's a little kid and he just needs to be taught how to do things or reminded that you can't do certain things. He just doesn't quite seem to grasp those concepts for whatever reason. So it's kind of like, okay, take a chill pill. So anyway, we went to clean that up and then went to make the gravy with the turkey drippings. And I didn't buy like bouillon or water or any of the other stuff. I just used whatever came out of the juice from the turkey. And I was going to add cornstarch to it. But again, the clumpiness in the cranberry sauce, which I needed to be pressing up against the side and work it a little bit more, and it would have been fine. And now I have random clumps of cornstarch in my cranberry sauce that I keep eating. I'm like, what's this? And I'm like, oh yeah, clump of cornstarch, because I didn't mash it out so it would thicken up my cornstarch or my cranberry sauce. Which I don't know if the cranberry sauce would have thickened on its own in the fridge or not, but it might have. I don't know. Anyway, but let me tell you, the honey and cranberry sauce, oh my gosh, that's like some of the best cranberry sauce I have ever eaten. It's fabulous. So even though I put a little bit of flour in there, it wasn't a lot, but I was kind of like, I was hoping for a little bit more gluten-free, and I ended up putting flour in the turkey juice instead of the cornstarch, just so just so it would be done. But I have to say, I'm not usually a fan of gravy. I think it's usually because it tastes too salty to me, and I just don't like salty flavored stuff. So, or salt and pepper, and I don't really care for that flavor either. And I know salt and flavors, but sometimes if you put too much in, I feel like all you taste is the salt and not the actual flavor of the food. And I like the actual flavor of the food. So I salt some things, like when I'm baking, I put salt in, and occasionally I'll salt some stuff like potatoes or whatever when I'm cooking them, but or hamburger, I put salt in. But I don't salt a lot of stuff. I don't just put salt on my food. So I didn't put salt in the gravy. I didn't put anything else in the gravy, just the flour, and thickened it up. And it was like the best gravy I have ever had. I'm like, I actually like gravy. What do you know? I just don't like all the seasonings and spices other people put in to make it. And I didn't have to use some packet to make turkey gravy with. I didn't have to use some chicken bouillon cubes or anything else to add to it. It was just perfectly fine with a little bit of flour. I think it would have been perfectly fine with a little bit of cornstarch too, but try that next time. But anyway, I was just super happy with my Thanksgiving dinner, and it was super nice. I didn't get around to making my pie. I still haven't got around to making my pie, but I have all the ingredients that I want to, so I will try that. But I feel like I did really good this week because I worked all week, because I made Thanksgiving dinner. I had friends over. It's just been, overall a good week, I think. And I feel like I could actually accomplish things and do things. And I'm hoping this momentum of feeling like I can do stuff and accomplish things kind of carries over into the upcoming weeks, because I need to stay motivated to keep going and moving forward. And even for Friday, after all of the end of the week, I was like, I'm kind of done and exhausted, and I'm stiff and sore from everything on Thanksgiving Day because I'm so not used to standing that many hours in my kitchen. I wasn't gonna do anything, and then I got some text messages from someone saying, "Hey, can you come work tonight?" And I was like, "You know what? I probably need to." So I did, and I'm very proud of myself for doing that instead of saying, "Oh no, I just want to stay home and relax." So I'm grateful that I was a little willing to do a little bit more this week, and feeling really good about all the things that I got accomplished this week, especially eating healthier and not going to the gas station. I need to drink more water. I'm still struggling with drinking enough water, and staying hydrated on a regular basis. So I need to work on the water thing. But I'm grateful I made enough money to pay all of my bills. So I feel like my finances are starting to at least feel like they're doable. I even called the bank on Monday to work out something with my car payment. So I know they're not going to take my car away from me. Made an extra payment on that and everything else to try to get stuff caught up. So I'm working with my creditors. I am going to work and I am paying my bills, and that takes a lot of stress off of me. So I feel better emotionally, and I just am really grateful that God has been blessing me with everything this week, with the strength and the energy to get through stuff, even migraine days, and to make all the stuff for Thanksgiving, to somehow have the strength and energy to do that on very little sleep. And I just feel very blessed and very grateful for everything this week. And I really hope that it continues to carry forward and that I can continue to make progress each week. So this week was a really good good week, and I'm really grateful for that. And I think that's all that I have to share. And I think, like I said, socially, spiritually, emotionally, socially, I had my friends over, my sponsor, my landlord, Thanksgiving. So I kind of missed my Tuesday night at the temple, but I went grocery shopping and went to work, so it worked out. And then I talked to my kids on the phone this week. That was kind of nice. Talked to my vision board friend a little bit too, I think, or at least messaged back and forth. I don't remember. So spiritual, emotional, social, financial, physical. Obviously, I need to drink more water, but I'm eating a little bit healthier. And mentally, I seem to have been willing to push myself to do more this week and to do stuff even when I didn't feel like it. So overcoming a lot of things mentally, motivating myself to do things somehow. Not really sure it's me that's motivating myself. I think it's God that's motivating myself, but my being willing to do it and just being grateful and aware that He's helping me do all of that. So anyway, that's what I have for this week. I hope that you're also able to work on things to help you have a healthier, happier lifestyle. If you have suggestions for me or you have things you want to share, please comment below. Otherwise, I hope you have a great week full of gratitude and find some ways to have a healthier, happier lifestyle too.